Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sisha Songs and I do makeup and lifestyle videos. So basically today I'm going to be talking about the bees and the birds. Basically a topic that is open to anybody if you are 15 years old all the way up to a 50-year-old, because everybody's having babies these days. But not 15-year-olds. 15-year-olds don't have kids, please don't. But I'm just saying that if you're planning to have this conversation with your mom, this is a video that you probably want to watch. Or if you're a mom and you want to have this conversation with your child, this is a video that you probably want to watch, because we'll definitely be talking about all of that on today's video. A break from the lifestyle and makeup videos. Just let's just talk, okay? Let's just talk. All right, let's get into it. All right, so yeah, I'm so sorry about the tracks. I really chose a time that I'm really gonna have. Oh my god, you're done? I really chose the most worst time of the day where the tracks are just going in and out. Anyway, so basically today we're going to be talking about the bees and the birds, and this is basically a conversation that we should have had when we were growing up. You and I, mostly people my age that I've spoken to, have never had the bees and the birds and the bees talk. So now you grow up, you experience certain things, and you get included in certain crowds, and boom, the topic comes up, and you just like minding your business if you were like me, until you get intrigued and you want to know what is bee. So yes, I didn't get the talk when I was growing up from my mom. I just normally, so my mom was a very Christian-based parent. She stood by the Bible. She disciplined by the Bible. She loved by the Bible. She walked with me by the Bible. She slept with me by the Bible. I don't know how that goes into this, but anyway, basically we lived, breathed, ate the Bible. So anything that we did was in line with what the Lord says. Yeah, so we never really had the sex talk, because I don't think she expected me to actually get engaged in it, so we never really got to it. And I feel like it's such a concerning topic, because a lot of people really should have those conversations, because there's a lot of information that our kids get taught at school and at the playground and on their way home. Kids learn things at such a young age. You could be thinking that your kid is at home, she's good, she's safe, she is not watching Good Days of Our Lives. If you were born in my time and era, she's not watching, I don't know what is it, Euphoria? I think Euphoria is what's current right now and has a lot of things that is happening on for these teen kids. And actually even people my age are watching Euphoria, so I guess it's such a good time to be a mom. I think my age is such the best time to be a mom, because you know what? I relate so much with my child. I relate so much with her. So the other day, I called my child because I miss her. I'm like, hey, Minnie. Oh, I miss you so much. What are you doing? And then she's like, hey, Mom, I had such a bad day at school today. And I'm like, what happened? Already, I'm like on mom mode. I'm about to protect my child, And then she's like, yeah, kids are just so mean at school today. And I know kids are mean at school. I experienced it. Again, going back to what I was saying in the beginning, I relate so much to the things that she says, because I feel like it was just yesterday that I experienced that. So every time she comes to me telling me what she experienced, I'm like, I got it. But I wasn't ready for this. So, well, I thought I was ready until I wasn't ready, but I was ready, but I wasn't really ready. So she tells me that she had a bad day at school today. Kids were really bad and were not, they were just being kids. And I was like, what happened? So she was like, my friends at school were laughing at this other girl and they were saying bad things about her. They said because she slept with someone, she's got HIV. Girl, I was like, where do I start? Cause, but what do I do? You think you're ready for these conversations, but you're really not. And with pre-teenagers, you need to also be aware that this could have been a way for her to introduce me into this topic, or it could have been of the worst, not the worst, the most that I'm scared of. It could have been her way of saying that she maybe did something that she's scared of doing. So I cringe. It could have been her way of saying that she did something and she doesn't know what to do about it, or it could have been a lot of things, and my mind was just going I had so many things that I wanted to ask her. Like the mother that I am, I asked her, well, baby, what did you think about this, And she's like, well, I thought it was quite mean because it's such a mean thing to say. And I was like, okay, well, what did you say in this scenario? She was like, no, I was quiet, I didn't have anything to say. And I know my child is she's very much like me, hey. She can be quite naughty, she can be quite sassy, but I know how she could probably react in a situation like this. Bear in mind, I can't really always say I know because I'm not there at school, so hopefully she didn't say anything mean to the child and then maybe later on regret it. And even if she did later on regret it, that's okay because at least she came to me for advice, So I was like, well, what do you know about sex? Like, what do you know about people sleeping with people? And she's like, oh, well, we learned about it in LO. It's when a woman and a man sleep together. And she said that, but I was like, really, like, I wonder if she really understands what that is. So because she is far away from where I am and I'm over here, I couldn't really get into the depths of it because I feel like this is a conversation that you should have face to face, touching each other, hugging each other, and just really showing each other how serious this can be and how valuable this can be. So listen, I don't care what you guys say. I know that we're living in 2022 and blah, 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 we all about have sex, whatever. Once you have your own child, baby, trust me, you're not gonna be about sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. You're gonna be for keep yourself until you're ready. Trust me, I'm all for explore whatever you want to explore, baby. Whatever you want to do, get into the nits and grits because, baby, it's a nice thing to do. It's really good. But I would love my child to experience that when she's married, in the comfort of emotional. I'm not saying that marriage is a for show that you gotta be emotionally stable, but it's the Bible says, baby, that if you're in marriage and you have sex, it's the good way to go. So me also being born and raised like that, I believe that once you're married, at least that's where you should start engaging in sex. So I mean, I'm not saying that she shouldn't have sex when she gets to the age which is 21 years old to explore. Definitely explore, but please save yourself for marriage if you can. But if she doesn't, then that's okay. But I'd love her first experience to be in varsity because, baby, these high school boys be missing it. They know nothing. Even the varsity boys, actually, So I was really just interested to know what she knows about this whole thing, and I wanted to know what she thinks about it. So she got into it and I was like, okay, what is HIV and what is AIDS? And she was like, it's a sickness. So I could hear that no Fifi, but I could hear also that she is not really properly informed on what this is. So went into mom mode. I was like, listen, baby, people have sex, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you will get HIV from sleeping with someone. You will get HIV from sleeping with someone if you have unprotected sex and they're HIV positive, or you're HIV positive. You know, either or could get HIV. So you need to bear that in mind. But also bear in mind that I would love for you to have sex once you get to the age of having sex. And I also just reminded her how important she is. You know, she's such a beautiful person inside and out. And you know, I feel like engaging in sex at a very young age can really lower your self-esteem, because the person you're having sex with, first of all, doesn't even know your body. They don't know their body. And if they probably do something that embarrasses them during sex, they'll definitely want to impress the girl even more further. So it's really not a good place to really start having sex until you've really established who you are, you're comfortable in your skin, you're comfortable in who you are, and you know you're the girl. So I wanted her to understand that wait until you're ready, and when you are ready, give yourself to who you think deserves you. But also be woke, because the boys out here. So I couldn't really get into the topic and really get into it, but I think I covered what needed to be covered for that conversation. So going back to this whole video for today, when is the right time to have the Birds and Beez talk? Guys, when is the right time? Because I was sitting there thinking, my child, just still too early. My baby isn't in, should I say, I don't think it's safe to say. My baby is in a good grade, but she's still not in high school yet, you know. So when is the right time? When is the right time for them to know? So I think, after thinking about this for a while, I've just decided that the best time to have the sex talk is at the age of 12. Earlier the better. I know you're probably thinking 12-year-old is so little, but baby, 12-year-old is probably in grade 4 or grade 5 or 6. So is it really too early? It's not. Stop looking at the age. Start looking at where in their life are they. What are they doing? Who are they around? What are they watching? These phones that these kids are carrying, they're exposed to so much. So the earlier you can have that conversation, and you could even have it as early as 10 if you can. The more time that you spend with the child, the more you start seeing when they probably are ready to have that sex talk. Because I feel like abandona bakula very fast. You'll have a 10-year-old that is exposed to quite a lot, and you can just see by the way that her body is developing that she really needs to get the Birds and Beez talk. And sometimes you have a child and she's just really just a child, you know. She just be going through life. She's at 11, she's like just going through life, playing around, playing. She's not even developing yet. 12 years, she's just playing around. 13, playing around. 14, now she starts waking up, you know. So you could even have it at 14, but I would definitely say have it from the age of 11 or 12, because that's when kids are starting to get exposed to these things. And in LO, they're starting to learn about this in the syllabus. So I feel like 11 years old is definitely the best age to start having the sex talk. Comment down below when you think is the best time to have sex, to have the Birds and Beez talk. It's a very sensitive subject, whether you have a boy child or you have a girl child. Because if it's a boy child, you need to nourish that boy to protect the girl that he will be engaging in sex with. Because love it or not, a boy really shapes a woman's or a little girl's how she perceives herself based on what society gives us. You can teach your child to be confident. You can teach your child to be to know her body. You can teach the child to be very self-aware. But the minute she has a huge crush on someone and that boy tells her that she's the ugliest child he's ever seen, she's gonna be crushed, and in some way or form that's gonna leave a memory date in her mind that there was this first crush that told her this. So whether you like it or not, they do play a role in our little girls' lives, and vice versa. Girls play a huge role in boys' lives, because you could have a little girl who is Miss Thing, hottest girl in school. She's passing. She's doing the thing. She's playing netball. She's doing her thing, man. And every boy wants to be this girl's friend or be that girl's boyfriend, and have this huge crush on this girl. And they come to her and they're like, "Hey, I like you." And then this girl's like, "Ugh, did you see yourself? Like, I don't even like you, you know?" So boys and girls shape each other's lives. It's just society, man. It's just how we are programmed. It's just how the world is. We influence each other's lives. So I feel like if maybe your child is on the end row of having a boy make her feel a certain way, or your boy child is on the end side of having a girl make her feel a certain way, that's fine. Let her go through the experience. Let him go through the experience. But now you also have to be a source of encouragement back at home. Be aware of things when your child comes back home and she is or he is sad. I remember when I was still at home, listen, when I tell you that I was watching everything that Umini did, I knew when she was sad, I knew when she was happy, I knew when she was just nah. I knew all of her moods, and even today I can still tell because I developed that connection with her. So I know when she's in a good mood or when she's not in a good mood. I feel like that is such a vital thing that you can do as a parent, you know. So you pick up that, you know, she's had a bad day or he's had a bad day from school. You ask her, a good conversation, just chilling. What happened, you know? And then they tell you, no, this and this happened. So then you get in there and then you try to brush up on every part that you possibly can to build that child back up again. Because shame, they're very fragile at that age. So I guess we've established when is the right time to have this conversation. But that's just me. I don't know what you think. So please comment down below. Let's have a conversation down in the comment section when is the right time to have the sex talk with our kids. And also if you're a little girl, if you're a little guy, you're watching the video and you feel you're ready at this time to have that talk with your mom, tell me down below. Tell us. There's mummies that are here, there's big sisters that are here that are also gonna probably help you out on what you might be going through, you know. So comment section is your playground, baby. Go all in. I really wish I had the sex talk with my mom. She never gave me that. I read it from books. You know, there were books that they gave us at the meeting, because I used to go to the meetings, and I read those books and they educated me with what I needed to know. But I wanted my mom's touch. I wanted her to make me feel like a princess and tell me what the Birds and the Beez thing is about, you know. So it really is quite a very emotional bonding session that you can have with your child. And I really feel like it's if you haven't had this conversation with your child, it's definitely something that you should do some research on and maybe think about having that conversation with your child. So going back to me, growing up, I didn't have the conversation with my mom and I fell pregnant. And I'm not saying that if you don't have the conversation with your mom, you're gonna fall pregnant. No, I'm not. There's some girls that didn't have the conversation with their mom, but they still didn't get pregnant. Kudos to you, girl. You knew what's up. So I got pregnant, and that was a very scary time for me. Because wow. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. I should get some water. That was a very scary time for me because I remember I was still in high school. Everyone was looking at me and I was one of the hot girls. And I had boys asking me to their metric dance while I was 8 months pregnant. And I was like, nigga, do you know what's in my tummy and cooking? By the time that you have this metric dance, I will be in hospital. I won't be able to be your date. So that was a very interesting time of my life. So I got pregnant and I did not know what to do. Went to the doctor by myself because I I normally had consultations, visits with my gynecologist because my mom discovered something that I was having sex. So she was like, well, you need to have a GP, not a GP, a gynecologist. So I guess that was a good thing from her, because she kept my kitty safe, you know, and she kept me safe because she introduced me to a gynecologist, and he also introduced her on what she needed to do to keep me safe. So anyway, I booked an appointment. I went to the doctor and I was like, your doctor, scan me, let's see what's happening. So he scanned me. He was like, no, there's nothing happening. And I was like, okay, let me pee in a cup. Pee in the cup. And I was like, baby girl, you're not pregnant. The reason that I did that was because I knew when I had sex that I'm gonna be pregnant. I don't know why I knew. Okay, I didn't know after I did it. I think I knew after I took my morning after pill that there's a huge possibility that I could get pregnant, because the condom broke. And very scary time. I'm just thinking back to the little old me, and I'm just thinking about the emotions that I felt when I went through the experience. And I'm just like, oh baby, I love you so much, you tried your best, you know. So I went to the gynae and he said, nah, you're not pregnant, girl, you good. I was like, bought myself bought myself a clear blue test. I went back home, and I think a week later I got tested again on the clear blue, and it said, girl, you're pregnant. When I tell you, my life just flashed in front of me, my jaw dropped, it sank to the floor. Nearly said something else. It sank to the floor, and I was like, what in the world? What am I gonna do? You know? So I called my sister and I was like, yo, I'm pregnant. And she was like, what? I was like, girl, I'm pregnant. So also with her, I don't really like the way she handled the situation. Because I'm just thinking back, if I had a little sister and she told me that she was pregnant, I don't think I would have handled it the way that she handled it. Because she was like, well, if you have an abortion, just know that I'm gonna disown you. I'll never talk to you ever in your whole life. And I was like, that's such a scary thing to tell someone that just found out that they're pregnant and they're still a teenager. Why would you tell someone that you're gonna disown them and never talk to them again? They're already dealing with the fact that they're pregnant. They have to tell you, and then they have to tell their parents, and then are you telling them that you're gonna disown them? That is quite deep. But again, she probably was also shocked, and she probably was just in shock mode, you know. So I guess, I don't know, each to their own reaction. But all good and well, I decided, because of what she said, I needed to get the baby, because in my own way, I wanted to have an abortion. So I was like, hey man, I want my sister disowning me. I don't want her to never speak to me again. I'm gonna keep the baby. So I kept the baby, which was a very good decision, because I love her so much. She's the biggest joy, the biggest pride of my life. I absolutely love her. But you know when they say every child is a reason, there's a reason for a tick, 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 everything. Love her so much, Kesanas. So much. The meaning that she brings into my life, valid Kesanas. So I guess what I'd say is, if you're a little girl and you're watching this video and you think about getting engaged in sex, really think about it, because a lot can go wrong. You might think that you're strapped, you're good, you're safe, but the condom could break. And the consequences that follow after that are a lot. They're quite a lot. You could go with the route of thinking that you want to have an abortion. The consequences of that decision also are a lot. Consequences of having a baby are a lot too, because your life is going to completely change. You're dedicating your whole life to this new being. It's not a divorce matter. You can never divorce this person. You are there constantly. Even with me right now, with my mom, she constantly has to answer for something with me, because, you know, we married, baby. We're in this for life. So even with you, think about that you might get to the point that you're gonna give your whole life to someone else. Are you ready for that? And what are you willing to sacrifice to give that person the best that she probably can get or he can get? So that's that. And if you go with the abortion route, are you ready for the consequences that come with that as well? One, your first time getting pregnant, there's a possibility that you do have an abortion in your first pregnancy. You might. I'm not a doctor. I am no scientific person. This is might end up not being able to have kids in the future. That's a might. Please don't quote me. That's a might. And another consequence could be you have emotional trauma. Or you don't. Some people don't, but you might have emotional trauma. And it's just really a thing of every decision that you make will always have a consequence. So really sit down with yourself and be broad. Don't just think be broad. Don't just think there's a cute guy in school, he wants to sleep with me, I need to prove myself by sleeping with him. Baby, you're gonna meet even hotter guys when you get to varsity, and that's worth the wait, if you ask me. But even they could be another disappointment, because even varsity sex is not really the best sex. Wait until you get your first job. Maybe when you've graduated, you've done everything, and you got everything by your side. You've got your money, you've got your rent, you've got your apartment, you've got your car, you've got everything going for you, and then you indulge in sex, baby. Let me tell you. Now that's just being a boss. Okay? So don't do it for someone. Don't do it for your friends. Do it for yourself. But also bear in mind, sex when you are young is not nice. I don't even want to lie to you. It's the worst experience ever. I hope doing that, because you don't even climax, you don't even... Baby, it's just the worst experience ever. Wait until you've read enough books, you've watched enough soapies, and you've experienced your life. That's when it will be nice, because I think now you're confident, you know what you bring to the table, you know what to expect from this person that's about to enter your body, and you're just extra confident, there's just no regrets, man. So wait until you have your own car, your own job, you're very, very confident, you've graduated, you're set, man, wait until then, because if you're a mom that your child comes up to you and says, "Mommy, I've done this, what can I do?" Sit down with her. Go back to your first experience, girl. Think about when the first time you had your first experience. How was it like? Everything was just painful and just emotional, and just everything was just scary. Console her. Just really dive into yourself and put yourself in her shoes, and maybe you'll be at the best point to advise her. It's really just a trial and error situation having a baby. It's really just a trial and error situation growing up, because there's just so many things. And also, if you're a little boy and you want to engage into sex, are you ready to get someone pregnant? Are you ready to tell someone's child to go and have an abortion? Do you understand what that could do to her whole life? Do you understand what having a baby is going to do to your whole life? Because it's not about her. It's about you too. You have to be responsible, because it's 50-50 that's okay. You don't just, you also participated. So you also need to put your responsible half into that baby's life. You need to be present. You need to just be there and consistently. You can't just be an on and off father. Society is already has a lot of that, but be the change and do better for your generation, because it's all about you. So if maybe you a boy and you've engaged in sex and you feel like you might have hurt someone, and you feel like it's quite scary for you, because I don't know, I'm not a guy, so I don't know how you would feel after you've had sex with a girl and you broke your virginity, but I'm guessing you would also be feeling vulnerable, because you've also just done something that is, sex is a very intimate, very emotional engagement. So after it, there's a lot of emotions that are out there. There's a lot of feelings that are out there. There's a lot of unsaid things that are out there. So I would guess as a man also, you probably have your roller coaster that you're going through, and you want to go talk to your mom, you want to go talk to your dad, and daddies also be there for your son too. If your son comes up to you and tells you that don't be like high five, you're the man, you slaughtered that. No, sit your baby down and talk to him. Because even for you guys, I feel like don't have sex when you're still a young man, a young gentleman, because guys, there's just so much going on for you when you're a young person. Do you know how exciting high school is without all of these things? It's so exciting. There's rugby matches, there's soccer matches, there's sports day, there is so many exciting things that you can do with your life. There's dancing, there's drama, there's debate, there's chess. There's so many exciting things that you can do, and trust me, do all of that during that time, because once you get into the world, we're gonna have that conversation another day. Do all of that. There's so many exciting things that you can do with your life, and when even when you get to varsity, even more exciting things. You can get to party, you can get to and go to functions, you can get to go to to Toastmasters. Oh guys, there's so many exciting things about life. So enjoy your life before you get into the deep emotional stuff, because trust me, you're gonna get to it, but just really enjoy your life. So I guess that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk. I spoke with my baby girl, and I think she's a little prepared now, but I can't wait until I see her in December, because we're gonna get into the thick of things for her. So I can't wait until she gets here, and I hope also when you have your just interesting conversation with your child, you really get into the thick of things, because it's such a exciting topic to have. Let's stop making it unexciting. It's such an interesting topic to really have with your child, because you've also experienced that, and you know what the deal is, but as a mother, as a parent, or as a godmother, guardian mother, you really have to be a parent. You gotta shape their thinking. So it's really such an exciting topic. Actually, it's really not as scary as we really think it is. It can be quite exciting. It can be so wholesome. Anyway, if you really enjoyed this video from today, please give it a thumbs up. Comment on the section. Let's engage. Tell me about your experiences when you're growing up, but please keep it PG, because we got little angels, we got little cubs in here. If you're still young in high school and you're thinking about getting to this, comment down below. Uno aunt, if that's the guy that are gonna give you the 411, okay? It's just a community for everybody, you guys. Get into the comment section. Let's start engaging. Let's start having interesting conversations, because conversations are really so important for us. And please comment down below. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to come and subscribe and watch these videos and like and share, please. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.